If you've reached that stage in your life where you want to create your own reality, you want to shift from where you're at the moment to a completely different reality. And you've tried, by reading books, by listening to courses, by enrolling in courses, by listening to different videos, and for some reason, you're not getting the results that you want. Then in this episode, we will go through the exact ingredients that if you implement in your life, you will learn how to shift your reality. My name is Eureka, and I live in New Zealand. And in today's episode, I'd like to cover the exact blueprint of the ingredients that you require so that you can build the life that you want. In our last episode, we went through the complete life cycle of how our mind works. And that was episode number 17. And in this episode, what we cover is the ingredients that you require to be able to shift your reality. Now, of course, the ingredients, when you get to know, you have to go through and implement those ingredients in your life. And you've got to study each of those ingredients and master it. I can't cover the exact in-depth of each ingredient, but I'll give you the blueprint. And then over the future episodes, I'll cover each of those ingredients so that in case it interests you, at least you can follow it and implement it in your own life and see how it works. All right. So with that, the first thing to recognize is that there is a book called Reality Transurfing, and it is written by a quantum physicist. He's from Russia, and his name is Vadim Zeland. Now, you can choose to buy the book and read it and implement those steps, or you can choose to take summary version of what I share, and you can use those to your advantage. Whatever way, I think it is better if you buy the book as well so that you have it as your reference guide throughout life. All right. The book is about 500 to 800 pages, I guess. But it is a book that I would recommend, especially if you're on a journey where you are sick and tired of what's happening right now in your life, or you're not feeling content in your life, or things are not working out to plan, right? And you have recognized that it's not the techniques, it's not the business strategies, it's not a specific magic bullet or a specific business that is going to get you the results that you want in your professional life, but it is the underlying stuff that you need to master in yourself to get the result. So in Reality Transurfing, what this guy speaks about is that all realities that we ever want or that we don't want are all happening simultaneously in this universe at the current moment. Every reality exists already. It is up to us to pick and choose the reality that we want. And I've kept drumming this in the past episodes as well. But you've got to recognize that this is happening right now. Okay? And you can choose whichever reality you want. The next thing to recognize is that you're not going to be able to change your past. Because as human beings, we always try to go back in time and try to fix the problem. But there is no point in doing that. What you need to figure out is right now, where I'm at, how do I want my future to look like and how am I going to live in that future? All right? So you can start from scratch right now. And trust me on this, okay? So once you have accepted that I can create my reality, the next step is you've got two superpowers. One is attention and second is intention. Now, attention is when we start getting aware. We start getting aware of what we are doing, some of the steps that we're doing, which is, which has been programmed unconsciously in ourselves, and we're running it autopilot. It's just like brushing our teeth. We wake up in the morning, we do certain activities, we brush our teeth, and sometimes we don't even know we're doing those things. But when you have that superpower attention and you start recognizing and being conscious of your actions, that's your first superpower. And intention is when you recognize, okay, these are some of the steps I want to change. And you have an intention to change it, a strong intention to change it. So those are our two superpowers. Once we know that, then what happens in transurfing, which is to shift your reality, there are two models. One is the film and script model, and the other is the mirror model. Now let me just cover in brief the film and script model. It is so powerful. And when I got to, learn about it, I was like, wow, this is real. And I was not doing the steps that were required, right? And I'm sure even you are not doing the steps that are required. So what is the film and script model? Just imagine yourself as the director or the writer of your own movie. So you are in a movie, all right? And this life is a movie, your life. And you're writing your story. Now, the film and script model talks about you write down the script that is currently being executed by you. And then you have a target slide or a target script that you write, which is what you want your ideal life to look like. And every day, what's happening in this model is that we are executing scripts or slides in our life that are getting us a specific result. Once we know which slide we need to change, we can traction in our life or the direction of our life starts to change because now we have a different script that we are running. Okay, so that's what a film and script model is. And within the film and script model, there are different techniques, one of which is called the plate technique. But we're not going to go into techniques right now. We're going to understand the overall picture of the blueprint of how to shift our reality. So once you have your current script and the target script or the target slide, which is your ideal reality that you want to create, the next thing is to know that there are two steps, which is inner intention and outer intention. So in the film and script model, you have the current script and the target slide or the ideal script that you want to run. And then you've got to know the inner intentions and outer intentions. Now, what are inner intentions? Inner intentions are actions that we have control over, what we can take. And outer intention is belief and trust that the universe is going to give us what we want. Sometimes we have to place an order when we are wanting a specific dish, and that dish needs to be prepared. Some of those ingredients or some of those steps are being done by ourselves through inner intention, and then some of the things are being done by the universe to help us to get to that particular stage. So now I'll give you an example, a very short example, so that you can understand how to implement the film and script model and the inner intention and outer intention. So one of my goals was to be able to wake up at 4:30 in the morning, all right? And the actions, the unconscious actions that I was taking every day was that I did not have discipline. Okay, I would go to sleep sometimes at 1 a.m. in the morning. Sometimes it would be at 10 p.m. Sometimes I would, stay up pretty late and then expect to wake up at 4:30. And then when I would not wake up at 4:30 because the alarm would go, I would snooze it off and go back to sleep. And I would wake up, in a hurry and recognize I'm going to be late to work. So I used to be pretty clumsy, I would just, finish off all my stuff, take all my stuff to go to work. Sometimes I would forget some of the stuff at home. Then I would get caught in traffic. I would get annoyed in traffic. I would reach work, and then some of my teammates would be really, they would roll their eyes that I'm late again for a meeting. And life would go on this way, but my goal was to wake up at 4:30 and to have time for myself. And I used to always get upset as to why am I not hitting that goal. Once I came across the film and script model, what I did was I actually wrote down the script of what are the things that I'm doing currently in my life. Everything truthfully. And I started recognizing that, wow, if I continue this process, it's not going to actually help me to achieve my goal, because sometimes I would go to sleep at 10 p.m. and wake up at 4:30, but most often that would not be the case. Now, once I got to recognize this, which was awareness, and my intention is to wake up at 4:30 in the morning, and in the film and script model, I wrote down my existing script. That gave me a chance to now write a new script. And in the new script, I wrote down that I am going to go to sleep at 10 p.m. I'm going to switch on my white noise so that I'm not interrupted. I'll have my alarm clock a little bit further away from me. And so when the alarm happened, or initially, I would have to wake up and go to switch off the alarm. So that would be, again, I would bring back the awareness that now I can actually wake up. And then I would continue my journey, which allowed me to have time for myself, to be able to study what I wanted to study, to be able to, list down some of the stuff that I want to visualize, have the ability to have a pleasant morning with my family before I head to work, and then be on time for my meetings and, be able to lead my team in the right way. The outer intention that started happening because I started implementing the inner intentions or these actions, the outer intentions that happened to allow me to align myself to this particular goal was that my family also started recognizing that this is something that I want to do, So everyone ate on time. Everyone went to bed on time. In the mornings, when I woke up, the coffee was already prepared and kept overnight so that I could just put the pot on. So everything was happening in synergy, right? But it all started because of the film and script model. So now I want you to think and recognize that there are some unconscious things that you're doing on autopilot. Write down the script that you're executing at the moment. And then write down the new script or the new slide or the target slide that you want to have in your life. Write down what are some of the things that you want so that you can have an action plan or the inner intention, to execute those steps. And automatically, you have to start trusting the universe that everything is going to be in alignment. It will take time, but it will be in alignment to where you are headed. Now, we've covered the film and script model. Then there is the mirror model. And the mirror model is everything to do with the law of attraction, the whole power of visualization. Because our mind cannot believe something that has not happened, right? So the mirror model trains you or allows you or gives you the steps to recognize how to do visualization in the right manner. How to become that person every day, even though the goal is further away. It's further away, but how do you start acting in accordance to the goal that you have set out or the target slide that you want to happen? How are you going to do that every day using the mirror model? And then finally, the most powerful step in the whole process of reality transurfing is called learning how to coordinate importance. Now, coordinate importance. Once I got to understand this, I'm still working on it, okay? So don't get me wrong, I'm not a master in it. But sometimes what happens is when we have our goal and we start executing the action steps, sometimes those actions don't happen as quickly as we want it. And then we start attaching too much of importance to it that I have to make this work. It has to work now. And as soon as we attach that much of importance, everything goes out of balance, right? And so it teaches us how to be able to let go, how to surrender. What's the importance of surrender? Okay, so that is a complete blueprint. Now, to summarize everything, the first thing to remember is that all realities that we want and we don't want already exists right now. There's nothing to create. It's all there. What we have done in the past and trying to correct the past is not the solution. What we need to do is to start today, now, and say, how do I want to live in the future, so that you can start executing steps that will take you to the future. So when you reach there, the journey has already begun here, which is today, right now. And the reality transurfing steps were that we have two superpowers. One is attention and the second is intention. Once we know this, then we have to execute the film and script model, which is to write down our existing reality and to write down the new script or the target slide that we want to have implemented. To learn the power of inner intention and outer intention once we have executed the film and script model. To learn the ability of the mirror model, which is how to act in accordance so that you are living the reality that you are creating. And finally, to learn the coordination of importance, or to coordinate importance, which is the power of letting go and surrender. Okay, so that's the blueprint. I hope it has been useful. My goal is to be your virtual friend, and hopefully you will be my virtual friend. It's about living the life that we want, man. You know, trying to do things just because we are told to do is not the solution. So with that, I wish you peace. I wish you health. I wish you success. And if you like what I have been sharing, then please do visit our YouTube channel, which is Living an Amazing Life, or our website, which is livinganaamazinglife.com. Please do comment on our YouTube videos, because this helps me, firstly, to understand if I'm communicating the message properly. If you've not understood something, just drop a comment. And also it helps the community, whoever lands on those videos. You know, sometimes you do read comments, right? And it will help someone else to recognize that they can change their reality. So with that, I would like to say bye-bye for now. Take care. All the way from New Zealand. Namaste.